Hello students, this is lesson 5 of chapter motion, class 9th physics. Before going in detail with this lesson, let me recall you what we have learned in previous lesson. In previous lesson, we have seen types of motion as uniform and non-uniform motion. What do we mean by uniform speed, non-uniform speed and average speed? After that, we have seen some numericals based on them. In this lesson, we will learn what is velocity and acceleration, difference between speed and velocity, and numericals on speed, velocity, and acceleration. So, let us start. Okay, students, before understanding the term velocity, let me ask you a question. If an object is traveling with a speed of 20 meter per second, then how much distance does it cover after 5 seconds? Then you can simply answer it because you know the formula speed is equals to distance upon time, or we can say distance is equals to speed into time. As we know the value of speed is 20 meter per second, time is given as 5 seconds, so distance can be calculated as 20 into 5, which comes out to be 100 meter. Okay, but if I ask you in which direction the object is landed, I mean in which direction the object is after 5 seconds. Is it in north direction? Is it in south direction or some other direction? Then probably you have no clue about the direction. It means that speed offers only the magnitude, or it tells us how much distance an object has covered per unit time or in a unit time, but it does not give any information about the direction. That's why we have a term known as velocity. So velocity is known as speed with direction because it also tells us about in which direction the object is traveling, in which direction the object is covering a distance. So velocity is defined as displacement of the object per unit time. That is, velocity is equals to displacement upon time. As you know that displacement is the distance covered in a given direction. Distance covered in a given direction is called displacement. So we can also write velocity is equals to distance covered in given direction upon time. If an object is covering a distance s in a given direction in given period of time t, then we have the formula v is equals to s upon t. Now you see this formula is exactly the same as the formula for speed, but there is a difference that in the formula for speed s denotes distance, but in velocity s denote displacement. That is the difference. Now velocity is defined as displacement upon time, and displacement is measured in meter and time is measured in second. So unit of velocity is same as speed, that is meter per second. Okay. Now we have to remember some points regarding velocity. First, velocity is a vector quantity. As you know, velocity is defined as displacement per unit time and displacement is a vector quantity. So velocity is also a vector quantity. If it is a vector quantity, then it must have a direction. So what will be its direction? Direction of velocity is same as the direction of displacement of the body. Okay. Now we know that velocity is the displacement per unit time, and displacement can be positive, negative or even zero. So velocity depending on displacement is also positive, negative and zero. Okay. Now velocity has two things. First, magnitude, which we call speed, and other is direction. So velocity can be changed by changing the speed but keeping its direction the same, keeping the speed constant and changing the direction of motion, and changing the speed as well as direction of motion. Okay students, till now we have understood Velocity is defined as displacement per unit time. It is a vector quantity and it is also known as speed with direction. So it can be changed in three ways. First, if speed is changing but direction remain unchanged. If direction is changing but speed remain constant. And the third way is both the speed as well as direction is changing. Now we have to understand two terms, uniform velocity and non-uniform velocity. So, if a moving object cover equal displacement in equal intervals of time, does not matter how small these intervals may be, then the velocity of object is said to be uniform velocity or constant velocity. For example, you can say a boy is running due east with covering a constant distance of 6 meter every second and maintaining its direction unchanged. Then the boy has a uniform velocity or constant velocity of 6 meter per second due east. We have to mention the direction with velocity because it is a vector quantity. Okay. Now what is non-uniform or variable velocity? The velocity of an object is said to be non-uniform or variable if it covers unequal displacement in equal intervals of time. For example, a ball dropped from the top of a tower falls down with a variable velocity. Why variable velocity? Because its speed is continuously increases. Let me show you. Here you can see when the ball is leave from a certain height, at first second its speed is 10 meter per second. At 2 second its speed is 20 meter per second. At 3 second its speed is 30 meter per second. At 4 second its speed is 40 meter per second. It means every second its speed is continuously changing or increasing, although the direction is downward, but the speed is changing, hence the velocity is going to change. That's why this is an example of non-uniform velocity. Okay. Now we have to see what is average velocity. As we know, average speed is defined as the total distance covered by the object upon the total time. In the same way, average velocity is defined as total displacement upon total time. In case the velocity of the object moving along a straight line is changing at a uniform rate means constant rate, then the average velocity of object is given by mean of initial velocity and final velocity. For example, for linear motion, we are considering here for linear motion means when the object is traveling along a straight line. Then suppose its initial velocity is u and after time t its final velocity becomes v. Then the average velocity for time interval t is given as initial velocity plus final velocity whole divided by 2. Now this is an important point which you must know. What does this statement say? If an object is moving with uniform velocity, then its speed must also be uniform. That is obvious. Why? Because if an object is moving with uniform velocity, then it has constant speed with constant direction. So speed is uniform. But if an object moving with uniform speed means constant speed, then we cannot say about the direction whether the direction is constant or changing. So it may have a variable velocity. Why? Because it depends on direction. If the direction is changing, then it has a variable velocity. But if the direction is not changing, then it has a uniform velocity. So it is clear. Now let us see difference between speed and velocity. So speed is the time rate of change of distance of a body, while velocity is the time rate of change of displacement of the body. Speed is always related with distance, while velocity is always related with displacement. Speed tells nothing about the direction of motion. We know that speed is a scalar quantity which gives us only the magnitude of the distance traveled, while velocity tells the direction of the motion. It also gives information about in which direction the body is traveling, how much distance or displacement. Speed is a scalar quantity and velocity is a vector quantity. Speed of the body can be positive or zero. We know that speed never be negative. Velocity of the body can be positive, zero or negative because it depends on displacement, which can be either positive, zero or negative. Again, average speed of a moving body can never be zero, but average velocity of a moving body can be zero. Suppose a body moving along the circumference of a circle starting from a point and again reaches to the same point, then initial and final point both will coincide, hence displacement is zero, hence average velocity is zero. So these are some difference between speed and velocity. Now students, you know that for a uniform motion along a straight line, the velocities remain constant. That is, velocity is not changing with time. But for a non-uniform motion, velocity is changing. It means at different instant of time, velocity is also different. So if we take change in velocity for a given time period, then it will not be zero. That's why we have a term acceleration. So acceleration of an object is defined as rate of change of velocity of the object with time, or we can say how much the velocity of an object is changing per unit time is known as acceleration. So formula for acceleration is change of velocity upon time taken. Suppose an object has initial velocity u and after time t its velocity changes to v. Then in time interval t, how much the velocity is changed? Change in velocity equals to final velocity minus initial velocity equals to v minus u, because v is the final velocity and u is the initial velocity. So v minus u is the total change in the time interval t. So acceleration is change of velocity upon time taken. So we can say acceleration of object is equals to v minus u, because v minus u is the change in velocity upon total time is t. So we have the formula for acceleration is v minus u divided by t, where v is the final velocity of the object after time t and u is the initial velocity of the object. Now SI unit of acceleration, we know that acceleration is the change of velocity per unit time. So SI unit of acceleration is equals to unit of velocity upon unit of time, and unit of velocity is meter per second and unit of time is second. So meter per second divided by second, it comes out to be meter per second square. We read it as meter per second square. Okay. Again, acceleration is a vector quantity. Why? Because acceleration is defined as the rate of change of velocity with time, and velocity is a vector quantity. So acceleration is also a vector quantity. Now, this is one of the important point regarding acceleration. This statement says if an object is slowing down means object is initially traveling fast and after some time its speed is decreased. So the object is slowing down. So if an object is slowing down, then direction of acceleration is opposite to direction of motion. Okay. While if an object is speeding up means initially the object is traveling slowly, but after some time its speed increases. So in that case, the direction of acceleration is same as the direction of motion. So we can conclude, if an object is slowing down, then acceleration is opposite to direction of motion, and if an object is speeding up, then direction of acceleration is same as direction of motion. On that basis, we define two terms, positive acceleration and negative acceleration. So let us see. So positive acceleration. Here you can see the car starts from the initial velocity u, and after some time it attains a final velocity v, and we observe that v is greater than u. It means final velocity is greater than initial velocity. So the car is speeding up, and if the car is speeding up, then direction of acceleration is same as the direction of motion. So if an object has the same direction of acceleration as direction of motion, then it possesses positive acceleration. Now let us see negative acceleration. Again, in this case, the car starts from initial velocity u, and after some time it attains a final velocity v. But in this case, the final velocity is less than initial velocity. That means the car is slowing down, and if the car is slowing down, then the direction of acceleration is opposite. You can see the arrow. Direction of acceleration is opposite in the direction of motion. So in case the object has direction of acceleration opposite to direction of motion, then it possesses negative acceleration. Okay. Now again we have two terms related to acceleration also, as we see in case of speed and velocity, uniform acceleration and non-uniform acceleration. Uniform acceleration. So uniform acceleration means if an object travels in a straight line and its velocity changes by equal amount in equal interval of time. For example, you can see when the ball is leave from this height, what happens, as the ball is approaches the ground, its velocity continuously increasing, but the change in velocity is constant. As you can see, from 1 second to 2 seconds, how much the velocity has changed? 20 minus 10, that is 10 meter per second. From 2 second to 3 second, how much it has changed? 30 minus 20, that is again 10 meter per second. From 3 second to 4 second, how much it has changed? 40 meter per second minus 30 meter per second, that is again 10 meter per second. It means we see that for the whole journey, the velocity changes by equal amount of 10 meter per second. That's why it is an example of uniform acceleration. Now non-uniform acceleration. So if the velocity of an object changes by unequal amount in equal interval of time, then the acceleration of the object is said to be non-uniform. For example, a car running on a crowded city. Then what happens? Sometimes the velocity of the car increases, while some other times the velocity of the car decreases. Therefore, the motion of the car running on a crowded city can be said to be non-uniformly accelerated motion, or we can say the car has non-uniform acceleration. Now here is an interesting problem for you. What do you think, the body is accelerated in this case or not? Here the body has a speed of 30 km per hour. Here again it has the same speed of 30 km per hour, and here again the same speed 30 km per hour. Now what do you think, the body is accelerated or not? If you think the body is not accelerated, then you are wrong, because in this case the body is accelerated. Why? Because we know that acceleration depends on velocity, and velocity can be changed. Either the direction is changed, either the speed is changed, or both will change. In this case the speed is constant, but you see the direction is changing. That's why the body is accelerated here. I hope you understand the concept of acceleration. There are some problems on speed, velocity and acceleration. Our first problem is, under what condition is the magnitude of average velocity of an object equal to its average speed. Now we know that average velocity is defined as total displacement divided by total time, and average speed is defined as total distance divided by total time. So if there is such a case in which total displacement will be equal to total distance, then only the magnitude of average velocity will be equal to average speed. And that case is that if the object is moving along a straight line in a given direction only, because we know that if an object is moving along a straight line in a given direction, then only the magnitude of displacement is equals to magnitude of distance. So in that case, magnitude of average speed equals to magnitude of average velocity. Now let us see our next problem. A bus decreases its speed from 80 km per hour to 60 km per hour. It means here the initial velocity is given as 80 km per hour and final velocity is given as 60 km per hour in 5 seconds. That is, time is given as 5 seconds. So we have to calculate the acceleration of the bus. Now what we need for acceleration? We need change in velocity upon the time taken for that change in velocity. So we have given initial velocity as 80 km per hour. So first of all we have to convert it into meter per second. So in our previous class we have learned whenever we have to change kilometer per hour to meter per second, we just multiply it by 5 by 18. So 80 km per hour is equals to 18 to 5 by 18, which comes out to be 200 upon 9 meter per second. Similarly, final velocity is given as 60 km per hour. So it is equals to 16 to 5 by 18 meters per second, which is equals to 150 upon 9 meter per second. Now we have initial velocity and final velocity. So change in velocity is equals to final velocity minus initial velocity. It means 150 upon 9 minus 200 upon 9. That is the change in velocity. But acceleration is change in velocity upon the time taken for that change in velocity. So acceleration of bus is equals to change in velocity 150 upon 9 minus 200 upon 9, and this total quantity is divided by time, that is 5. So we get minus 50 divided by 9 into 5, which comes out to be minus 10 upon 9 meter per second square, which is again equal to minus 1.11 meter per second square. Here negative sign represents that the acceleration is negative. Sometimes negative acceleration is also known as retardation. Now next problem is Joseph jogs from one end A to other end B of a straight 300-meter road in 2 minutes 30 seconds and then turns around and jogs 100 meter back to point C in another 1 minute. What are Joseph's average speeds and velocities in jogging from these two parts? We have to find out. Now let us see what the problem is saying. As the Joseph is starting from this point A and traveling to the other point B along the straight road of 300 meter. As he reaches at this point B, he turns back and jogs to the point C by covering a distance of 100 meter. Now take first part. We have to calculate average speed and average velocity from point A to B. Now let us first evaluate what is the average speed. What we need for average speed? For calculating average speed, we have the total distance covered by the object and the total time taken. Now in this situation, the total distance covered is equals to AB, which is of 300 meter, and the total time is 2 minutes 30 seconds, but it is given in 2 minutes 30 seconds. That is not a standard unit, so we have to convert this time into second. So 2 minutes 30 seconds is equals to 150 second. Now we have total distance of 300 meter and total time of 150 second. So we can calculate average speed of Joseph for point A to B is equals to 300 upon 150, which comes out to be 2 meter per second. Okay, now what will be the average velocity? For average velocity, we must have total displacement and total time. Now the total displacement is equals to AB, which is again of 300 meter, and total time we know 150. So displacement is equals to 300 upon 150, comes out to be 2 meter per second. But we have to also mention the direction. So the direction is from the initial to final point, that is along AB. Now let us see next part. In next part we have to calculate average speed and average velocity from the point A to point C. Now for average speed, again we must have total distance covered and total time. So we know that the total distance covered in the journey from A to C is equals to sum of the path length AB plus length of path BC. It means 300 plus 100, so it will equals to 400. It means total distance is given by 400 meter, and the total time is time taken from A to B plus time taken from B to C. So from A to B he takes 150 second, and from B to C he takes 1 minute, that is 60 second. So total time is 150 plus 60 equals to 210 second. Now we have total distance of 400 meter and total time of 210 second. So average speed is equals to 400 upon 210, which comes out to be 40 upon 20 meter per second, or 1.90 meter per second. Now see what will be the average velocity. For average velocity, we have to calculate the total displacement. Now in this situation we see the initial position is A and final position is C. So the displacement is the line joining initial and final position, that is AC. Now we have to calculate the length of AC. Length of AC can be calculated as length of AB minus length of BC, that is 300 minus 100, which is equals to 200 meter. So we have total displacement of 200 meter and total time is same as previous, that is 210 seconds, because he takes 150 second from A to B and again 60 second from B to C. So total time is same, 210 second. Now we can calculate average velocity is total displacement upon total time, that is 200 upon 210 equals to 20 upon 21 meter per second equals to 0.95 meter per second. But again we have to mention the direction. So the direction is from the initial point to final point, that is along AC. Okay. Now there are some questions for practice. First question: a car is starting from rest and moving with uniform acceleration. Here I can give you a hint. Car starting from rest, it means initial velocity is given as 0. Okay, now you have to solve this question. Next question is: Abdul, while driving in school, computes the average speed for his trip to be 20 km per hour. On his return trip along the same route, there is a less traffic and average speed is 30 km per hour. So what is the average speed? Again there is a hint that for calculating average speed, you must have the total distance covered and total time taken for that journey. Okay, just try to solve these questions. Thank you students. In our next lesson we will study what are graphs, what are the necessity of graphs, and types of graphs as position time and velocity time graph. Thank you.